Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For the last 31 days in May, I've been making special edits to my videos so that I can have two of myself in the same video. And I want to teach you how to do that by walking you through one of the edits, and we're going to show you how to edit this clip. This tree has been here for hundreds of years. Can you believe it? Untouched by mankind. This to me is the real magic of the world. But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was to try, geez, I've been in there a long time, I would say this. So to make this video, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. This is a paid program, and although it is very complex and there's so many things you can do in here, there are YouTube tutorials for literally anything you want to do. And this is how I learned how to use this program, was by YouTubing how to cut clips in here, how to mask things, how to edit things. Everything is at your fingertips for free on YouTube with this program. So I'm going to recreate the edit that I did for day number 19 of Trick a Day May. And if anything else, you'll start to understand like what the process is to create the video, and you can decide for yourself if it's something that is of use to you. So the first thing you'll see is the final product that I have here. I've just opened up the project that I made when I made this video. But to the left, I'm going to drag the raw clip into Premiere. Now there's two bars. The top one is video, the bottom one is the audio. And right now it's set like a YouTube video. This clip is actually, if I scale it down, you'll see it's actually set to be like a long, wide video. So I need to change that so that it matches this vertical sized setting for what we normally create TikTok videos on, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. So in Premiere, I'm just going to simply go up to rotation. Oh, don't know what that's doing. I'm going to go up to rotation, and I'm going to just rotate that 90 degrees. And now it's just going to show it in the way that I filmed it with my camera. So the biggest thing to note before I even do any editing on here is that when you want to shoot a video that has two of yourself in it, or you're going to cut two clips into one to make it look like one, you have to film it with a camera that has manual settings. And all that is on an iPhone, when you film something, it will manually change, it'll automatically change the brightness and the focus depending on where you are in the video. But if you were to put those two videos side by side and mask them together, you would have this weird line of different brightnesses and different focuses. Whereas for this to work, you need a camera that's an actual camera that has a manual setting, so it won't change the focus or brightness of the video at all, so that you can put them together and it still looks like one video. So I'll put the link below to the camera I'm using. It's a Canon M50, and it's just an entry level, very easy to use if you're not a videographer, but has all of these high-tech settings that you need to start doing this stuff. So that's the first thing you need to know. Now, this here is the raw clip of when I made this video. So although it looks like the video begins with me squatting on the ground and picking up a leaf, this is where the video actually begins. I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was to try, geez, I've been in there a long time, I would say this. This tree has been here for hundreds of years. Can you believe it? Untouched by mankind. This to me is the real magic of the world. But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? So that's how I actually filmed the clip. I start it from me coming into the screen and acting out that I'm reacting to what my first person said. And then I imagine the clip cutting to the next person saying what I said at the beginning. So you're actually starting the video halfway through. So when you watch a masked video, you're actually watching it halfway through. And so this is how you do it. So this first bit of the clip is just me setting up the camera, walking into place and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to cut that out of this clip. So we just have me behind the tree. I couldn't have. And then me walking over, and I just now need to find where the clip actually is going to start for my video. So I can see this audio down here. So I know it's a little bit before that. Let's have a listen.
This tree has been here.
Yeah, so that's a good spot. So that is where I'm going to cut this clip. And that's going to become the start of the video. So if the start of the video is there, this extra bit, if I can get it to move, is what is going to move over. So now I need to find the part where these two videos are going to overlap.
Is the real magic of the world. But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too?
So when I say, wouldn't you agree too? So that's when the next clip is going to come into play. And I need to just time that right. So I'm going to use the audio to be able to time it. And it needs to make sense as if I'm talking to myself. So let's have a listen to this.
Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself.
And that sounds pretty good. Okay, so now the next thing is I need to add a mask so I can basically cut out part of the video. Now, whatever layer in Adobe is on top is what it will give preference to and show first. So this clip where I'm coming out from behind the tree is what it's giving preference to. So I need to cut out some of that so that it shows the base video, the one behind it. So to do that, I'm going to click on this little pen tool and I'm going to create, I'll make this a little bigger here. I'm going to create what's called a mask, and that's going to go around the tree. And going around the tree is super helpful because if it was like just a white wall, it would be a little more difficult in the open daylight to control that the lighting looks the same everywhere. But a tree has so much different texture and lines on it, you can actually use that to hide the fact that you're putting two clips together. So now you can see this little thing here is cut out. So now you can already see two of me in one video. But this is the base of it, but now we have to trim the edges around here because if I just play this fully,
wouldn't you agree too?
You see a little jump there.
Wouldn't you agree?
Like this part of the leaves here change.
Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was
and then eventually you'll see me walk out of the frame.
to try, geez, I've been in there a long time. I would say this.
Actually, no, you don't see that just yet because I'm still within that mask that I made. I'm still within that, so that's good. So to stop seeing that weird,
wouldn't you agree too?
Jump in leaves, what I'm going to do is drag this clip a little bit back to where I was still hiding behind the tree.
Wouldn't you agree too?
And you'll also notice my hand gets cut out right there. My hand gets cut out right there. So once that hand is out of the way, that's where I can start having this clip fade in. So I'm going to click on opacity here and I'm going to create a little timeline of when it's okay for it to be faded in. So this is when I think I start coming in. So that's when I want to change the opacity to 100%. Actually, no, that's not true. It's here. So I'm going to move this little dot to that spot. And I think I also noticed that my hand comes into play again. See how it gets cut out a little bit just here? So once that's out of the way, I can do this. And this will just make that fade a little smoother.
Wouldn't you agree too?
Now it's a little harder to notice those leaves changing. So that's great. So now this looks pretty good.
Take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was...
And now once my bigger self walks out of frame, I can start to fade. I can start to get rid of that clip. Now the other thing is the audio for that first clip is still here. So I need to cut that out. Now what I've learned to do is to make it super easy. This clip that you're seeing right now, I'm going to move it to the top and I'm going to copy it by holding down Alt and dragging it below, which is just going to create a second version of this clip. I've just copied and pasted the same clip. Now that's not going to work. for the whole thing, but I need it once myself disappears. So now this clip, I'm going to do a couple of things to. I'm going to delete that mask and I'm going to have it fade in. So I'm going to get rid of the fades that were in here before and I'm going to set it to 0 and then I'm going to allow it to fade back in about here. And you'll see why that makes sense in a second. So now once that gets to 100, I can delete the base clip. And what that means is now the mask is gone. And it also means I can delete this top clip.
Geez, I've been in there a long time. I would say this.
And it looks like nothing happened, but basically what happened was the clip that had the mask in it, which is this one here. So I need this mask to end, and I'm ending it by just copy and pasting the same original clip, but without a mask. So it'll switch to it. And it also, by doing that, allows me to fade out this original clip. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's very quick when you're doing this. This edit would normally take me 10 to 20 minutes. So that all happens.
I would say this.
And now that video, because we cut it in the middle, it's ready to loop itself again. So if I was to copy, I'll do it quickly. If I copy all of this and I place it right here, it'll just seamlessly start again.
I would say this. This tree has been here.
So there you go. Now, the next thing that I want to do is, if you watch the original video, I kind of zoom in and zoom out a little, and just to create a bit of texture in the video. Also, I'm super far away in this clip. So to be able to do that neatly and not mess around with any of these layers, I'm going to highlight them all. I'm going to right click and I'm going to nest them together. So I'm going to go up to nest. And now it just makes that whole thing one timeline. So now I can zoom in and zoom out wherever I want, and it will keep all those clips it'll keep them doing the right thing they're meant to do. So all I need to make sure is that the start and end of this nest are focused in the same, so that it doesn't look like a weird jump when it goes back to the start. So let's say I want the video to begin. I think I did something like, it was something like this.
This tree has been here for hundreds of years. Can you believe it?
So I'm going to create a keyframe. So if I click on this scale button and this position button, that'll just make sure that stays where that is. And I also, at the end of the video,
I would say this.
I want to make sure that it also is in that same spot. Now I can do whatever I want to the middle, and it will always revert back to this position for the end of the video. So when it loops, it's still zoomed in the exact same position. So
Tree has been here for
now I'm just going to follow myself a little bit.
hundreds of years. Can you believe it? Untouched.
So now here, I probably want to zoom out a little bit and do something like this. And I can just kind of check my work.
Untouched by mankind.
Right? And I probably want to get back to the original setting that this video was made with. So I'm going to probably do this, this, and this. So that should look like this.
Can you believe it? Untouched by mankind. This to me is the real magic of the world.
Now there's a little problem. It's already starting to change slowly back to that original setting that I wanted. But I don't want that to happen yet.
But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was to try, geez, I've been in there a long time.
What I'll do is set another 2 frames and put them also back to that original setting of 540 by 960, which just shows like the whole screen. So now when I play it, it'll stay in that spot.
Mankind. This to me is the real magic of the world. But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was to try, geez, I've been in there a long time, I would say this.
It looks pretty good. So from here, I would do a little color grading, and I'd also add some captions to the video, maybe even music if I want to, play with the volume a little, but that's all just like little details you do afterwards. But this now is the main meat of the clip that's ready to go out and be posted.
This tree has been here for hundreds of years. Can you believe it? Untouched by mankind. This to me is the real magic of the world. But don't just take my word for it. Wouldn't you agree too? I couldn't have said it better myself. But if I was to try, geez, I've been in there a long time, I would say this.
So I hope you got some value from that. Please put any questions you have below. If there's more you want to see or go more in depth, you know, I'm not a video editor, so there are a million great YouTube videos you can go to learn how to do this kind of edit stuff. And this is just how I currently edit these type of videos. You know, there are other ways to mask things and expand the masks instead of duplicating the clips. But for me right now, this is the most efficient way to do it. And I'm always learning how to do this stuff as well. But I hope it gives you some insight, opens up your mind on how it's possible to do this kind of stuff. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.